rugged off-road body and something that will look nice after years. Another day, another review. What is Auto Goa shooting today? Presenting to you the Renault Duster Turbo Petrol, a car that has been there for a decade but still looks as good as new. Upright boxy style and new turbo heart for BS6. How is it to drive? We are here today giving you a first drive review, and till then, happy motoring and keep watching for our review. Driving the Renault Duster Turbo. It's a 1.3 liter turbo petrol with 156 PS of power. However, this is the manual version we are driving, and first initial feedback, the car is very smooth. The engine has very good pickup. As you get higher, the power builds up in a very smooth manner. Now I'm in 5th gear. If I tap the pedal, you see I've already reached the 80 km per hour speed limit. So the power comes in quite quick and you can get on to triple digit speeds with quite ease. You can do your highway runs quite easily because there's good amount of power. There is very minimal turbo lag. However, it is a bit tricky on the certain situations. So you got to be very accurate with the clutch, and the steering auto retracts a little too quick, so you got to really have control over the steering. It's back to its position, center position a little too quickly, so you kind of lose a little feedback out there. The 6-speed gearbox is also very smooth. However, it has a bit of a rubbery effect. Though downshifting is easy, upshifting takes a bit of effort, and once you get up to triple digit speed and you're cruising in 6th gear, you realize the overall NVH levels are very well controlled, well balanced, so you don't really hear a lot of the engine inside. Though at lower RPM it is a little noisy. At higher speeds it just gets composed. There's a nice build of power, and if you tap the pedal you can just goes and goes. It goes so much you will need to brake really hard to slow down the car. To slow down the car on turns or on curves. Also, while turning, you will notice the steering is a bit on the heavier side, so it does take a little bit more effort to turn the car. So the power of 156 PS, 254 little bit of torque distributed evenly. So if you're going uphill with full load, you have minimal power coming, so you can go in quite easily. The beeping you're hearing here is a speed limiter. Since I said it builds up speeds easily, you keep hearing this beeping a lot, but otherwise it's fine. So what is the Duster Turbo Petrol? It's basically an old wine in new bottle. So you have the design, the interior, and on the few of the mechanical juicy mold. This on a whole is the only car in its segment that is rugged enough to handle the bad roads. When you're going over bad stretches of roads, you hardly have any problems. You can just even glide over the speed breakers without a problem. There's hardly any vibration you feel inside. This is one of the most rugged cars you can have in its segment. The Kia Seltos, the Hyundai Creta, they are just cars to drive on road. You can't really take them off-road. But a Duster, though being a generation old, come on, it's one of the only cars you can really try taking off-roading and just sail past these vehicles on the bad sections of road. Talking about off-road, the Duster equipped with MacPhaser strut and front and coil springs at the rear negotiated the terrain with absolute ease. And also the ground clearance of 205 mm also proved healthy in making the track seem like it was having the terrain for breakfast. Just like we said, the Duster is capable of on and off-road drive as well. The Duster Turbo Petrol also has something known as idle start-stop. The car is off now. I just press up the clutch. It comes back to life. So you don't really need to turn the key, say you're in traffic and all. We all know how idle start-stop works. So that's about it. Talking about the design of the car, it's the same basic shape, old wine in new bottle as I say, but the recent facelift which has got this new chrome grille and the chrome elements in the headlight make the car look fresh. On the turbo variant you get these red highlights on the grille red highlights here on the fog lamp bezel. Then you have a small red highlight on the alloy wheel cap, and duster badging here again in red. Otherwise the side, the basic shape is the same, looks exactly the same. While if you come in the back, you see turbo badging and duster again in red here. So otherwise the car is similarly the same, and nothing much has changed from the car we've been seeing for long. Talking about the boot space, as you see, it's a wide boot space with 475 liters of luggage space, and if you want more, you can always fold the seat, while you do have a parcel tray here as well. Talking about the interior of the car, again, it's the same interior, the same layout we've been seeing with the AC layout here on top, your touchscreen here and the AC control lower down. But what I really like over is the piano black finish over here with the dull aluminium insert, which looks great. Coming to the side here, the duster badging looks nice, but what's out of place over here is the blue bezel over here. Why do I say it? Because if you have a blue car and you have the blue bezel here, it's okay, but this being a brown, Mohegan brown color, if you had a brown bezel here and a full contrast colors, maybe the ambience of the cabin would have been lifted up. But what's great are these brown with blue stitching on the seats and the door pads that look nice. And the automatic climate control layout switches also look great and give you a plus appeal. Other than that, the tripod instrument cluster on the other hand also looks nice. You kind of have a digital readout here along with analog controls. You see your speed and your RPM. In a world again where I see digital instrument clusters look, they are nowhere next to the analog. I'm happy Renault has still stuck to the analog instrument clusters, which lend a good feel as well. Other than that, you have your deep glove box here, which is illuminated, so you can store your stuff pretty well. And you have a small armrest here, which surprisingly is only for the driver and not for the co-passenger. However, the car does miss out on many features like auto seat adjust and electric sunroof, which most cars today have. But as I said again, the Duster is all about being a rugged, go anywhere capability, and that's where it shines the most. Talking about seat comfort, it's quite comfortable and you're sitting quite high up, so you get a good commanding view of the cabin, something that is required in an upright SUV of this type. So you're quite comfortable. You have a slim armrest here to rest your hand, which goes well with the gearbox if you're shifting, and keep your right hand here. You have a relaxed drive, especially if this is if you're driving the auto version. You can almost drive, you can rest your left hand over here when you need a brake. Even the headrest is quite comfortable, so you can rest at the back and drive with comfort and ease. If at all, it's a little short on tire support, but that's okay. Even the overall space over here is great, and that's about it. Talking about the back seat, it's pretty comfortable. You got more than ample amount of legroom, good headroom, good shoulder room as well. Tire support is a bit less, but that's okay. You got a drop down armrest with twin cup holders, and you have a big bottle holder over here as well. What's missing here are rear AC vents though, but the front AC vents are powerful enough. You got nice headrest at the back and a large huge window which give you that airy feeling. Also, the front seat is set a bit low with the smaller headrest, so you have again a great view out of the cabin and you feel like you're sitting a notch higher up. Sitting 3 passengers here is again comfortable enough, though your back does feel a bit cooped up because of the center haunch here and because of the armrest. The overall tunnel here, the height of the tunnel is a bit small, so you can squeeze in a third passenger, maybe an adult a notch lower than me, but even a notch lower than me would be comfortable enough here. For 2020, the Duster gets a new mahogany brown color along with capsule blue that joins the other colors in the range as well. So there it was, the full first drive review of the Renault Duster Petrol. How is it? As we said, old wine in new bottle. The car, the basic shape, everything remains the same, but the heart of matter, the engine, is what's brand new. It's punchy, it's fun to drive, and it really has that grunt. Overall pickup, the refinement, everything is so much better. In a segment of having cars like the Creta, Seltos, which are today selling well, none of these cars can really come up where this car has come today. The Renault Duster is one of the most rugged cars and the car that can really conquer this terrain, and that's where this car really does well. On that note, we hope you like this video and the quick first drive of the Renault Duster Turbo Petrol. Anything else you want us to let you know, please let us know in the comment section below. Do subscribe, share and stay tuned to our channel for more. Till then, is Hercules Rodriguez signing off from Auto Goa.